We have had a rising prayer, and just maybe more than a prayer, just a rising realization over the last 8 years of our life. The more and more we play songs and write songs and travel around, this realization has become more and more evident, more and more clear in our life. And the realization is just that Jesus, let me just start that again, I'm sorry. The realization is just that we can't change hearts. As much as we'd want to, as much as we'd like our songs to, we have just seen, and even now, just scripturally know that the only thing that can bring change to a heart is the Spirit of God. And we can try to create a funky beat, and we can try to strum fast, and we can try to sing high, and we can try to have harmonies, and we can do all the things that we can, but it still can leave a heart empty. It still can leave a heart unchanged. And that has just been a rising prayer in our heart that God would come in people's cars with CD players. He would come at live shows, that he would come to these places and he would stir people's hearts with deep affection for Jesus, and do things that songs and words and wooden things with strings can never do. And so I was driving the bus. I get up in the mornings and drive the bus, and it was about 7:00. The sun was coming up, and I was just praying this, and that, just the reality of that, which honestly sometimes doesn't even feel good, because the control is taken out of our ability and it's put on God's hands, and it's sometimes it doesn't even at first feel good, but at the end of the day, it's an unbelievable feeling of dependence. And I think ushers in a very right prayer life to ask him to move. And so I was just driving there, and thinking about that prayer, and just as I was looking at, I think we were on the East Coast, and I was driving the bus, and a melody popped into my head, which melodies popping into my head is a very new thing, especially without an instrument in my hands. Without an instrument in my hands, I don't know if a melody has ever popped into my head, other than this last year. And this melody came to me, kind of going right along the theme. This melody came to me, and I just started applying this prayer to this melody. And so I was just driving the bus there, and I heard. And I heard this melody, and I was like, oh, I like that. I want to remember that. And so I was driving, and I saw a napkin, and the only things I saw that I could write this down with I looked over and I saw a napkin and I saw a Sharpie. And so, like, I am holding the steering wheel of this bus, driving 12 people down the freeway with my leg, and I'm like reaching over, like way over towards the door. I finally reached it, and I grabbed the Sharpie. It's probably not smart to do at home, but I grabbed the Sharpie, grabbed the napkin, and I'm sitting there. I'm driving this bus, and I'm like trying to write down the words of this song, and then I'm so ghetto because I don't know anything about music. I don't know anything about notes, but I'm writing lines down and what I think notes look like, and I'm going do 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 because I'm trying to remember this melody. And so anyway, I get to the venue a few hours from then, and I sat down and I tried to remember the melody on the piano, or I think it was on the guitar actually. So I just began to play through it, and then just sing through it as a prayer that day. your embrace, to hear your voice, more than songs. Oh, please come. Awaken what's inside of me. Tune my heart to all you are in me. Even though you're here, God, come. May the vision of you be the death in me. Even though you've given everything, Jesus, come. I just began to sing this song, and kind of had this bridge of this down section of going, all we have are songs. We need you to do more than songs. Could you come, and could your presence and your embrace in this song be more than the song in and of itself? And so it's been a really fun prayer for us.